Hey guys, welcome to another video. So this one is about one thing that I think we really need to see from season 2 of The Bad Batch. And I realized this thing was a non-negotiable. I need to see this concept after the first episode of The Bad Batch, when they attempt to loot some of Count Dooku's war chest on Sereno. Now, in the show, it's made clear that this war chest would be full of money that could ultimately be used to provide them with the freedom to not have to risk their lives or the lives of Omega on sketchy jobs. Or, if you're Echo, this money could allow them to do more in the fight against the Empire. However, there's some items in Dooku's collection that hold a different value and I thought would be interesting to see. Of course, we can assume that perhaps in his castle on Sereno, there were various Sith artifacts and such, which I imagine that Palpatine himself would have ensured those were collected probably soon after Dooku's death. But there is a specific item or a cabinet full of items that I think would have been really interesting for the Bad Batch, or actually maybe even some of the Imperial clones to find. These items could have added to the growing tension between the Empire and the clones. Now, in the novel Dark Disciple, which takes place during the Clone Wars, Dooku captures, tortures, and ultimately turns Quinlan Vos to the dark side. Now, that's not full spoilers. You can go ahead and read the book and see how that ends. But while torturing him, Dooku keeps alluding to a cabinet, which he eventually reveals is full of lightsabers. Lightsabers that Ventress and Grievous have collected for him. Of course, they're lightsabers from fallen Jedi. So when the Bad Batch was headed to loot Dooku's war chest, I couldn't help but think of how cool it would be to see that cabinet full of lightsabers on screen. I think that would have been an interesting little Easter egg there. But I also think it would have provided an interesting opportunity for us to see the Bad Batch, or again, maybe even more importantly, some of the Imperial clones, to see that and reflect on the Jedi. Now, at this point, we are starting to see this increased tension between the Empire and the clones. From the trailer, we know that there are more and more clones who are starting to question Order 66. That is the one thing that I think Season 2 of The Bad Batch needs to accomplish, providing closure between the Jedi and the clones. The Clone Wars series established a strong bond between the Jedi and the clone troopers. In fact, such a strong bond that when Order 66 was given, the Jedi, even the most powerful ones, were caught off guard because they trusted the clones so much. And truly one of the most tragic aspects of the story is that clones like Commander Cody, who had grown to be friends with their general, Obi-Wan Kenobi, for example, these clones had to gun down their friends, and we never really see them get the truth. Of course, we see a few get the opportunity to find this closure, like Rex, Gregor, and Wolf in Rebels. They're able to find some closure and understand the truth of what happened between the clones and the Jedi. And in fact, one of the most incredible character dynamics in Star Wars to me is the one between Rex and Kanan, as they both work to recreate the trust that was lost because of the clones' abrupt turn on the Jedi. Now, as viewers, we know that it wasn't the fault of the clones, and we've gotten to see the redemption of a few clones, like Rex, Gregor, and Wolf. But I think the Bad Batch show will ultimately give us the redemption of all the clones. Whether it's through an uprising against the Empire, their chips are deactivated, or they learn the truth of what happened for Order 66, whatever it is, I think we're going to see the clones be redeemed on screen. The redemption of the clones is ultimately it's this redemption of the clones that I'm ultimately looking forward to in this show, and I think they're going to give us that. I'll put it this way. As a whole, the story of the clones currently ends with them just fading from existence as they're phased out of service to the Empire. Which, to me, is really sad. It's a sad story for beings who had sacrificed so much to fight for what they thought was right. And really, if you watch the Clone Wars, you grow to like the clones a lot. They are really the main character of that show in many ways. So it's also just really sad from a perspective of fans of that show. So if we could see their story end in a way that fights back against the Empire, who made them betray the Jedi, I think that would be really cool to see, but I also think that would be a really productive thing for the Star Wars universe and for fans. So let me know what you're excited to see in Season 2 of The Bad Batch in the comments below. And if you haven't already, leave a like for the video. It helps the channel out so much when you do. Have a great day, and may the Force be with you.